Well, good day, everyone. It's almost noon, so I say good day, not good morning. And hopefully you're all up. Everyone's awake, right? I hope. I did the 7:30 Mass, and nobody is awake. I had to wake them up. You know, ever since that Tuesday that we voted on issue 1, it really put into my mind and heart a real inspiration to start to really preach about the hard things. So me and Father Jurgens are going to really start to hit some hard topics. He actually did, and I think he got a round of applause this morning, so it's really amazing. But I'm gonna just talk to you heart to heart today before I hit the hard ones, okay? I don't have any notes in front of me, as you see. Well, I never do anyway, but today I don't. I'm just going to speak heart to heart to you. I spoke about in the bulletin that we are a healthy parish, how to gauge the health of a parish, and we're doing better. Bigger crowds, more confessions, more baptisms, more weddings, all these good things we're doing. And in general, we are doing well. We're pretty healthy. But I want to just go down to you personally. Speaking heart to heart to you. How are you doing? How are you doing? And, you know, we can look at that superficially and say, oh, I'm fine, Father. It's good. It's all good. But then that's not enough. How are you feeling? Let's get down to the emotional level, your feelings. How do you feel? And then it starts to unravel. You say, well, you know, I'm running around all day. I'm chasing my kids all day and driving here and there, and I can't go down the street without flipping off someone who's driving in front of me poorly. You know, I mean, work is up to here with work. I come home late. I'm tired. You know, I'm frustrated. I'm distracted. All these things you're feeling. But really, what we have to get down to is a whole nother level. The core of your being, your soul. How are you doing? How are you? And that's the level of grace. How are you doing in relationship to God? What is the state of your soul? That's the most important thing to analyze, to look at. And I don't think many people get down that deep very often. They get caught up in superficiality, just kind of following the latest fads or following the latest teams or whatever, you know, out on Friday night at the bar or whatever, just kind of taking it easy. But then they have these emotional problems. They once in a while they just get fed up. They can't take it anymore. But really you have to go down deeper than that. Your state of your soul, your relationship to God. Are you in the state of grace, for example? The state of grace. So what is grace? Grace is I used to think of grace as these little puffy white balls of light. God shoots them at you once in a while, you know. Oh, good, got a grace. It could be an image, you know, kind of a simple image. But it's more than that. Grace is a connection to God, His life flowing through you. It's a channel of life-giving spirit that He gives us. To be in the grace of God is to be in the favor of God, to be pleasing to God, to be righteous, to have your life in order. And so what happens, though, when we sin? We turn away from God. We cut off that channel of grace. We kind of put Him off to the side. We say, I'm more important right now, Lord, to back away. And even when we sin mortally, a mortal sin is a deadly sin. It has to be a very serious matter. It has to be complete consent of your will. And you have to know it is a sin. When that happens, you actually cut yourself off from the grace of God. You're dead. You're dead spiritually. That's on that level you have to get, because if you're feeling good and, you know, I'm doing fine and you're happy and you're bouncing around, you're fine, but you're in mortal sin, that's a dual life. You have to get to the truth of your state of your soul. That's why when we preach about these hard things, it's so that you can realize where you're at in relation to God. Because God gives us these truths through the church, through Jesus Christ. He gives us this conscience which realizes those bad things we're doing. And you have to know them. You have to know your faith. Do we know our faith, our Catholic faith? How many, don't raise your hands, but how many have been to a Bible study here in a while? Just think of that for yourself. I'm sure many of you have. I'm sure many of you haven't. In fact, I asked at the other Mass, and the people say, I haven't been to a Bible study, Father. Well, we have a Bible study coming up in December. Mary and the Bible. Father Juergens is going to lead the Wednesday night crowd. I'm going to lead the Tuesday morning crowd. We're going to put our heart and soul into it. Why don't you sign up for that? To learn your faith. And when, from Mary's perspective, we can learn so much about the truths of our faith through Mary and the Bible. You know, for example, for the last Bible study we had, the Mass in the Bible, we had about 45 people showed up. And then for the rescue project, it was great. We had 70 people showed up for the evening class and about 35 for the morning one. I want 500 people to come to Bible study. I don't want to mess around with just a few. Why isn't there 1,000 people at the Bible study? Why not? Why not? Why don't we have to have it in church? Are you interested in your faith? Are you having just those desire to learn more about your faith? Because it has eternal consequences to it. Your Catholic faith is the only thing which you can dive into completely, because it's the only thing that lasts. Our Catholic faith leads us to the love of God in heaven. Everything else will pass away. Everything else. You know, Ohio State's going to lose next week, so it's the end of the season, right? The Bengals are done because he hurt his hand, you know? So everything's going to end. But yet we put all of our energy, all of our interest in these things of the world. Only your Catholic faith deserves your complete attention because it's God himself who reveals himself to us. God pours out his heart and soul for us. He says, here I am. Come be with me. Enjoy my grace. So you have to learn your faith. Learn about what it means to be a Catholic, a Christian. That should be the overriding emphasis of your whole life. And it's the only essentially important thing that really matters in life. The only thing, there's nothing else that can compare to your life of union with God, your Catholic faith. You hear me? There's nothing else that can compare to it. That's why you're here on a Sunday morning. And you're not just lounging around at home. Because I think you know that, right? You know that your Catholic faith is very important. I don't mean very important, it is the important thing in your life. That's what I want to communicate to you this morning. So when you hear these hard teachings that Christ gives us in the Gospels and in the teaching of the church, you're going to be more open to them because you know it's the way to salvation. You know that this is God's revelation to you so that you can make it to heaven. Do you want heaven? Do you want it? Do you want to dive into your faith, into knowing everything about it? We know everything about all these trivial things, but why don't we know our faith? I think our problem today is this lethargy, this spiritual indifference, this complacency about life, about real life, about the life of grace. You know, we get excited about many things, but we're lethargic about our faith and about our participation in the sacraments of the church. Yeah, we come to church every Sunday, but that's about it, right? Why aren't you just diving into everything you can? For instance, that Bible study. Absorb it, and make it your own. Make it your own. Because it's for you. It's for you. God reveals himself for you, for your salvation. So like St. Paul tells the Thessalonians today, wake up. Don't sleep like the rest do. But let's stay alert and sober. Alert and sober. And I don't mean you're drinking too much. I'm saying we're drunk on our own indifference. We're drunk on our own selfishness. We're stuck on ourselves so much that we can't open ourselves up to the divine, which is the only lasting and fulfilling thing that exists. So wake up, yes. Let me hear you say amen. Amen. Oh, that's good. We have to do that. So I want to encourage you. If I don't see 500 people signed up for this Bible study, I'm going to be disappointed, okay? There's no reason not to. There's no reason not to. And there's many other things here at this parish. There's all kinds of things we can do. So let's do it. Let's just do it. Get on board this train. It's going to heaven. Let's put ourselves totally into it. And I know you're saying, okay, Father, all right, I heard this already. Heard that last week. And you in the back there are saying, okay, Father, yeah. And I know you guys over there behind the choir, you're trying to hide back there, you know. I see you back there. Let's do it. And for instance, let's stay to the end of Mass too. Everyone stay. I hate to have to remind you of this. I get into a traffic jam out there all the time, okay? At least let me get out of there, okay? But you're receiving Holy Communion. You're one with... Did I hear some clapping back there? Good. All right, so you're receiving Holy Communion. Take the time for that. Take the time to really be with Jesus. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. We're so stupid, you know. There's so much we can get out of church, so much grace, so much life. You have to do it. So, God bless you all.